it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video, one that I'm excited to film, and that is the ColourPop times the Powerpuff Girls collection. Now, I loved the Powerpuff Girls. Now, they came out when I was a teenager, but it was still actually a cartoon that I really enjoyed watching. So, there is a massive collection with this. There's a lot of items. I'm gonna swatch everything. I'm gonna show you everything, tell you prices, do at least an eye look, maybe two, I don't know yet. But the whole collection retails for $142. If you bought everything together, it retails for $115. So there's like a complete set, but if you bought each individual piece, it would be $142. So the first thing in the collection is the Powerpuff Girls eyeshadow palette. So if you look at the packaging, it is so super cute. You got Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup on the front. Now, which Powerpuff Girl would you be? I would think that I would be probably Buttercup. Maybe a mixture of Blossom and, or not Blossom, a mixture of Bubbles and Buttercup, but you know, probably more Buttercup. So actually this is cuter in person than I thought it would, because these are much more sparkly than I thought. Like, I'm not sure if they're pressed glitters or not. And then I love the mirror with the girls on it. But yeah, so we're gonna swatch her and then we're going to see. So we've got Townsville. Ooh, that's really pretty. That's like a white and gold kind of glitter. Now, I don't think it's a pressed glitter, but it is like a drier shimmer. Then we have Professor Utonium, which is a baby pink shimmer. There's not really any shift to that. Then we have the Mayor of Townsville, and that is kind of a true gold. Now, the Mayor and Professor Utonium are not super sparkly. They're not super reflective, but they're okay. Then we've got Crime Fighting. And if you see my nails, they kind of look junky, and that is because I was painting yesterday, so I still have like teal paint under them. This is Crime Fighting, so that's just like a nude matte. Pokey Oaks, which is a pinky toned matte. Then we have Frenemy, which is like a coral or tangerine style shimmer. Chemical X, which you know I'm always down for a good green, is a lime green. Then we have Super Friends. Oh, that's a pressed glitter, I'm pretty sure. Super Friends and Townsville may both be pressed glitters now that I'm feeling it. But it is really pretty, really, really pretty. Because it's so hard to tell with some of these. Then we've got the shade Girls Rock, which is a coral matte. Then we have the Fashionistas, which is Blossom's color, so it's a matte pink. Then we have Silico, which is Buttercup's color, which is a matte lime green. And then last but not least, we have Rowdy Rough Boys, which is Bubbles' color, which is a matte cerulean blue. So that's all 12 of the shades. Very, very pretty, very pretty. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't know. But I am super duper excited because, as I said, you know, we gotta fight for the people of Townsville today. Okay, so next up, let me scroll down because they have them all kind of jumbled together where like there's sets mixed in with individual products. So next up, you're gonna have your blushes, which both of the blushes retail for $12 each. Again, the packaging is super duper cute. You still have the same packaging, but the girls on the front of this one, you know, they're in a different flying pose. See what I'm saying? But it still goes together. And this one is Saving the World, which is the corally blush, which y'all know I am always down for a good coral blush. That's what she looks like. Not bad. but it is pretty close to the colors that I just had in the Hello Kitty collection, just so you know. Then we have Fighting Crime. And that's there. And this is a hot pink, like a magenta pink blush. Oh, she's bright. I don't know how often I would use that one, but you know, it is what it is. I like that the pans are heart-shaped too, because that to me is staying very, very true to the Powerpuff Girls, at least in my opinion. Then we have 3 of the shadow sticks, or the color sticks. So, and those are for the villains. I hope that if this does well, that they do come out with like a villains palette from the Powerpuff Girls, because they're awesome. So the first one we have is the Mojo Jojo. And did I tell y'all that these are $7 each? So this is Mojo Jojo. I love how he says his name. I have my hands are slimy from doing the makeup wipe. So Mojo Jojo is like a metallic green. So I think you can use these for pretty much anything. That's what Mojo Jojo looks like, as an eyeshadow base or just as a all over the lid color or whatever you're wanting to do. And then, but I do have others of these. I just haven't even used them yet. Then we have him. I love him. He's one of my favorite villains. So that is more of like a coral shade. Maybe it's red. Let's see what you do. It's like a pink. That's what him looks like. These are really nice and creamy. I don't know if they stay, so what we'll do is we'll leave these swatches on. And then last but not least is Princess Morbucks. So, and she is the blue color, like Bubbles. So all 3 of these are metallic. The other ones that I purchased, I bought all the mattes. So we'll see how that goes. Then we have the hair clips. So each girl has her set of hair clips. So we've got the Blossom ones that I shook out. I'm not gonna wear these out like when I go places. I mean, that's just not my style of things. But these are great to keep your hair back when you're doing skincare, when you're doing makeup, whatever, out of your face. So there are 3 sets of these. So as I said, we got Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup. It's kind of a useless thing in there, but you know, it is what it is. Then we have the Ultra Superpowers Lip Mask Kit. So this is $20 and there's 2 lip masks. There's sugar and spice and everything nice. I have a ton of lip balms, lip masks, that kind of thing open right now. This is going to go home. So, because I'm almost through with a lip mask, and then that way I can test those. Then, what else do we have? Then we have the Drama Bomb. This is a Soul Bubble Bar. Again, this isn't something I can demo on here. This is $9. Oh, it does smell good. Oh, that smells good. I don't know what it smells like, but it smells like, almost like apples, I think. Smells good. I'll let y'all know what I think of that too. And then the only thing in the collection that is showing sold out right now on their website is the Day is Saved Roller Gloss Kit. And this is $24 for the 3 roller glosses. Now this is definitely something that screams young Betsy. Like, this was my childhood. 15 years old. 14, 13, you know, roller glosses. Oh, that feels nice. That sounds like cotton candy. So that's the roller gloss. And you can only buy these in a set of 3 for $24. So let's do an eye look. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we're going to do one. Because Mama wants to play with some makeup. Oh my goodness, it was a long weekend. I painted my bedroom. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see the color. I painted it like a D. I'm almost finished with it. I've still got like a half a wall left to do because 1 gallon of paint went much further than I thought it was. But it is called Ocean Abyss, and it is like the deepest teal ever. I'm so excited. Now I did prime my eyes with the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base in light. That is almost empty, finally. So what do we want to do? Like if I were doing a live, I would be asking. Okay, I think we're gonna do a look today and then we'll do a different look tomorrow because I just wanna use more of these colors. So I'm gonna grab, this is a Trace Loose B101 brush, and we're gonna go into Crime Fighters, which is that nude tone matte, and I'm just going to use that kind of all over the crease because I think I'm gonna do a pink look today, and then I don't know because I've done a lot of blue-green looks. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Why is this got to be so hard? Explain to me this. Riddle me this, Batman. So, I mean, Crime Fighters is about as good of a basic nude as you're gonna get. What should I do? Should we do pink and green? Let's do pink and green. I think that's what we're going to do. So, next I'm gonna go into Pokey Oaks, which is a little bit deeper. It's almost pulling a little orange, salmon kind of color, and we're gonna apply that to the outside of the eye. Like, and it doesn't, like, seeing the pan, it looks like it's gonna be mauve, but it's really not. To me, it's more like a salmon than a mauve. But that shows you how you can't trust what a pan looks like, and you can swatch stuff all you want, but until you get it on your eyeballs, sometimes it's really hard to tell what it is that's going on. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to do like pink on top and then do a green inner corner. I think would be kind of fun. Okay, so next I'm gonna go into, we're gonna try Girls Rock. We're gonna use the same brush because it really doesn't matter at this point. Now, this palette doesn't have really anything deep in it. I mean, just to kind of let you know, this is to me more of like a traditional summer palette because it's kind of like there's no deep shades, which to me screams summer, and it also screams spring because, you know, spring's about pastels and summer to me is like bright, bright neon colors, that type of thing. So that's what that looks like. And it's not a bad shade. Don't know if it's my favorite thing in the world, but you know, not everything has to be my favorite thing in the world. I will say this. I wish that it did have some deepening up shades. I think that that's what it needed. Like, get rid of some of this nude tone and do a deeper of the other colors. Okay, so this is the Trace Loose B100. So that's definitely making things pinker. Just again, like, I don't know. I wish there was something deeper in here. Not that I'm disappointed that I have the palette, because as I said, I love Powerpuff Girls. This will be something that is just unique and I'll keep in my collection because it's cute. But if you like having a deepening shade, I don't know if this would be the palette for you. So these have been sitting a while. They still smear, but they stay on actually pretty good. I mean, you can see, because the green one's the one that I put down first, it didn't smear as much as the other two. It's like the longer it's set, so that is a good thing. So that's the top, like the blended mattes. Let's go into the Helm Shadow Stick, and we're going to apply that on the lid and see what I think of it that way. So that really goes well with the mattes that I used. It applies well. I think if your colors need a base, these would be great for it, but I don't find it to be super like special or sparkly or anything like that. It's kind of just basic. So, or at least that's what I'm seeing. So I'm gonna go into Townsville, which is that white gold glitter, and we're going to apply that all over the lid, because I just think that I need something with a little bit more sparkle. It's just what I prefer. But yeah, that's where I feel like there is some lacking, is I feel like for my personal taste that's what I would have done. Like, why are almost all the shimmers in here? I don't know if that's a glitter. I don't think it's a glitter. I could be wrong. Does it say that there's a pressed glitter in here? Let's look and see. But I don't feel like, I feel like it is lacking some pigmentation. Like, I don't feel like it's as bad as some of the other stuff. Like, I mean, it shows up well. I just wish it had that, I wish it had a little bit more depth. Let's see. A strand at forces with a mix of glitter and glam. I'm not seeing if this is a pressed glitter. It doesn't tell me. So we're gonna blend out the edges of this. Okay. I don't know if this is my favorite look that I've ever done. Probably not anywhere close to my favorite look, but it's not the worst look I've ever done. So this is where we are. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face, and then we'll come back and do the lower lash line and blush and lips. Okie dokie. I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used the Juvia's Place medium bronzer for my bronzer today. Not really much else interesting because everything else is in the kit. So now we're gonna put on our roller gloss. Our glossy, just wet looking lips. I do like this formula of gloss from ColourPop. It's sticky, yes, but it's not, or it's not, like, it has some glide to it. So we're gonna use the Helm liner, our color stick again, and we're gonna put that in our waterline. There we go. I'm gonna let that sit while we go ahead and put on blush and highlight. So I think I'm gonna use, well, I don't think I'm gonna use, I'm gonna mix the two blushes together because I feel like the pink is really pink. So I'm gonna lightly dab into that and then go into the coral. And yeah, see, that matches my eye look better too. Or at least I feel like it does. So dab, dab. And sometimes, like, if your blush, like if the color that you have is a little bit pink or something like that, or you want to make your blush a little bit pinker, you can easily do this where you're mixing two blushes and it will give you a different color. Okay, so that looks really good on the skin. I do like that. Okay, so set those to the side. We're gonna do some highlight. And for highlight, we are going to use our palette. I figured we could use something in here as our highlight. So I think I'm gonna go into Professor Utonium, which is that baby pink. Yeah, that works as a highlight. And I like to do this anyway, which is using eyeshadow as highlights from time to time. I don't mind doing that at all. So that looks nice and glowy. What do you think? I think it looks pretty. So let's do our under eye. So I'm gonna go into a mixture of Girls Rock and Fashionista, and we're gonna apply that under the under eye, and we're really going to Uncle Fester that out. Bring it down, or at least I've said this a million times before, I like to bring my shadow down. So if you look under my under eyes, that is where I have the most of my wrinkles. So for me, bringing my shadow down adds more color, which we know I love our color, and it also helps cover those wrinkles without getting too crazy. So that's what that looks like. So let me grab my powder brush and go over the edges. And this is something else I like to do, is whenever I do bring it down super low, to take and go into my powder brush that I use for my under eye powder, and then just kind of blend upwards. It helps bring the eyes up, and it blends in your powder to your, not your foundation, it blends your powder into your eyeshadow. So lower lash line mascara, since I have it out and we're sitting right here. I hate putting on lower lash line mascara. Mascara is like the bane of my existence. If I didn't have to use mascara, I wouldn't, but you know, it is what it is. So for inner corner, we are going to go bright. We are going to go into the Chemical X. So to do that, I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Mojo Jojo. Is that the one? Yes, this is Mojo Jojo. Stick and apply a little bit of green first off into the inner corner, because I wanted something to have a little bit of a base to be able to apply over it. So now this is just like a BH Cosmetics number 11. It's just a tiny little pencil brush, and we're gonna go into Chemical X, and we're going to apply that. And I'm blending it up into the pink on the top and on the bottom, because I really want the green to kind of have like almost a standing feature in the eye look, if that makes sense. Like I want it to stand out. And I love green eyeshadow, and I feel like adding that green underneath kind of helps give it something to stick to and helps it pop just a little bit more. Okay, there we go. This is finished look number 1. We will come back tomorrow and do look number 2. Back to do another look with the ColourPop Powerpuff Girls palette. I am so excited. I think we're gonna do we are gonna do a blue look today. So I'm gonna grab, this is a BK Beauty 201 brush. These are some of my favorite brushes. And we're gonna go into Rowdy Rough Boys, that bright blue. And I also grabbed my ColourPop Blue Moon palette because, as I said, this palette seems to be lacking a little bit of depth, and I want like a deep navy for the outer corner, because I did use almost all these colors yesterday except for the green matte, the blue, and like one of the golds. So we're gonna go into Rowdy Rough Boys. I just kind of tapped into it, and I'm going to kind of keep this towards the outer corner. I have primed my eyes with the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base in light, which is pretty normal for me to do. So we're just gonna blend that in to pretty color, to very, very pretty color. We're just gonna do like a blue smoky eye. Move my bangs out of the way. The problem with getting bangs, and I don't know how y'all feel about getting bangs, it is like, I love having bangs, but they grow so quickly. It's like you only have a short time period to wear them down. And I like to kind of play with my hairstyle. If y'all haven't noticed, I like to make changes. I'm gonna grab a clean BK Beauty 201, and I'm going to go into Crime Fighting, which is that first nude shade. And I'm going to apply that to the front of the eye and kind of blend it over the edges, because this is kind of sticking a little bit weirder than what I would like. So this way, kind of blend out the edges and give it something to blend into. So just blend that over it towards the front. See how that kind of tones down that blue a little bit? Because I still want a blue smoky eye, but I don't want it to be a crazy blue smoky eye. Does that make sense? Like, I love blue eyeshadow. I love eyeshadow of all colors. Blues are probably my least favorite on my skin tone. Now I'm back in with that blue brush and making sure it's all blended together. Perfect. Okay, now I need a little smaller blending brush. What do I want to use? That's too dense. I still want something fluffy. We need something fluffy. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH40. And we're gonna go back into Rowdy Rough Boys. And I'm going to use that tiny little brush to bring the blue towards the front of the eye, but keep it low. Because I want, as I said, I want it to be a blue smoky eye. You see how I'm not bringing that high. It's just to kind of give, like when I have my eyes open, because I have a little bit of a hooded eye, that way you still see the blue. So just blending that over. Take and go over my blue back here. And go over the edges with that neutral shade. Okay, so I like how that looks so far. So now I need another small teensy weensy blending brush. This is the Sigma brush. I forget which palette. I think this is from one of the, well, it is from one of their palettes. But I'm gonna take and use the sweeper side, which is this side right here. And we're gonna go into Clued In, which is that deepest navy. And I am going to apply that into the outer corner. See how that's giving it some depth? See, I wish for the Powerpuff Girls palette, my personal preference would have been to take away some of these neutrals and golds that are in here. And like, to me, it would have been cute to do a 9 pan for this. And even if you wanted to keep it a 12 pan, that's fine, but do 4 shades of blue, 4 shades of green, 4 shades of pink, but keep it kind of monochromatic to fit with the girls' color schemes. Does that make sense? Okay, that would be my thought. Now I'm just taking my blue brush and kind of going over my edge to make sure everything's soft and blended. Okay, that's where we're at. Doesn't look bad. Well, it's kind of hard to see with my bangs in the way. Doesn't look bad. Okay. So I'm gonna take the blue ColourPop. This is Princess Morbucks. This is the color stick. And I'm going to put this all over my lid before I put on that glittery, sparkly shade. I think it's a pressed glitter. I am not 100% sure if it is or not. I haven't really watched reviews over this palette. It's, you know, I don't watch before I post or buy a palette. Like, even if I'm interested in it, I typically won't watch a review over it unless it takes forever to get here and like one of my friends gets it first and then I will watch their review. But I typically won't watch a review until I have it in my, after I've had it in my possession and test it, because I don't want my opinions to get skewed. And that is something people don't always realize is, you know, whenever you're watching something or seeing something, sometimes that can change your opinion over it, whether you mean for it to or not. You know, hearing somebody else's thoughts can be like, oh, well, now that she's saying that, or he's saying that, or they're saying it, that makes sense. Maybe I should think the same way. You know what I mean? So that's part of the reason why I try not to do anything. So this is the Noblet in 204, and I'm gonna take some of my NYX glitter glue, and we're gonna apply a dollop, do a dollop on my lid. And the good thing about these color sticks is that like you can use them as a base, kind of like I did, where I'm fixing to put a color that's over it, similar, and it might be a pressed glitter and it might not be. I don't know, I can't really tell. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's crumbly there, but it's not jelly. I don't think it's a pressed glitter. I don't think it is, because it doesn't feel like ColourPop's other pressed glitters, but again, I could be wrong. So I'm gonna go into Super Friends, which is that blue sparkle shade, and we're going to pat that over where I put the NYX glitter primer. See how pretty that looks? But see, it gives that opacity using those color sticks underneath. So that way, if this doesn't cover completely, or if one wears away faster than the other, hopefully the other part will last a long time. Does that make sense? So, I do like how that looks. Look how pretty. That is a beautiful, beautiful color. And this right here is very unique to my collection. I do not have anything else that is quite like it. So go back over where we placed with our navy, and then just blend out our blue one more time. Go over my edges. This is something, again, you will know I do this all the time. Grab my nude brush for the front. Okay, so this is the tops of my eyes done. I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna put on the rest of my face. We'll come back, do the blush, and we'll talk about my thoughts on the entire Powerpuff Girls collection. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used the new Smashbox bronzer that I got in deep bronze. That's pretty much all I have on my face. So we're gonna use the Bubbles lip gloss, because it's bubbles. And I like bubbles. And that one smells different. They all feel good. I like these. I like these a lot better than I thought I would, because used to the old rollerball lip glosses that I've had in the past when I was a kid were so super sticky, and these aren't. So we're gonna use the blue, the Princess Moorbucks color stick in the waterline, because why not? Okay. There we go. So there is that. Let's go ahead and put on some blush. I'm going to go into, where's my blushies? There's my blushes. I'm gonna go into that more corally shade, because I like a coral blush. See how pretty that looks on the skin? To me, at least with my skin tone, because I'm very neutral, leaning a little olive sometimes, pink can be a little bit harsh on my skin, but like, I don't know. Coral, I just feel like blends in the absolute best. Now let's do some highlight. I am gonna use one of the shades from the ColourPop palette, because I didn't use the Mayor yesterday, so we're gonna use the Mayor today as our highlight, because that's an okay thing to do. You know, you forget that these will work as highlights, you know? That's probably where, like, we probably started with eyeshadow, and then it's like, oh, let's put this on the tops of our cheeks and stuff. That will look amazing, but it does. I mean, come on now. Look, I mean, what do you think? Okay, I really like that. Okay, my bangs are driving me nuts. As you can see, they're in my eyeballs, and it's like, why? Okay, so the brush from Jaclyn Hill and Morphe that had the navy, I'm just using that on the outer edge and keeping it tight to the eyeball. Now I'm gonna use the same brush, and then we're gonna go into Rowdy Rough Boys, which is that brighter blue, and I'm going to apply a little bit of that towards the inner corner and then blend the rest of that out, okay? Now I'm gonna take my big powder brush and blend over the edges. That's something I personally like to do. To me, this is one step that I prefer because it really helps make everything blend together, in my opinion. So now we need inner corner highlight. What do? I'm gonna use Townsville, I think, is my inner corner. I used that one yesterday all over the lid, and I really like that color. So this is a Lunar Beauty LB6, which is just a teeny little pencil brush. I kind of like how crumbly that shade is and kind of how it gives a little bit extra sparkle. Okay, there's that. These bangs are gonna be the death of me. But that's the final look. So let's talk about the palette. So my issue with the palette is I wish it had less of this neutral shade range, but let's see. Tell me that doesn't give you more Powerpuff Girls vibes. And what I would prefer is like if there was a deep navy, a deep forest green, and like a deep reddish pink, I think would have kind of finished that off. And then you could have, like, I wish there was this kind of shade for all three, like for Blossom Bubbles and Buttercup, and not just Bubbles. I think that that would have finished it off. And then have like a pale shade in blue green, you know, to really kind of spice it up. That would be my ideal Powerpuff Girls palette. I don't think that the palette's bad. I get why they did the brighter colors because they do fit with the Powerpuff Girls. It's just I wish it was a little bit more. And I don't need all the neutrals. I have a bajillion neutrals palette. If I'm buying a Powerpuff Girls palette, I'm buying it because I want it to be Powerpuff Girls colors. Does that make sense? But for $22, it's not that bad. The roller glosses, surprisingly enough, I like that formula. I love that formula. I think it's great. So I would definitely recommend checking out ColourPop's roller gloss formula. Blushes ain't anything different from what I already have from ColourPop. They're good, and I really do like these color sticks. Everything else in the collection, the bubble bar, the lip balm, you know, all that, the clips, those are just cute. It's not something that I really need or must have, if that makes sense, but it's not bad. So that's my thoughts on the whole collection. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And on Saturdays, I do a live at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. But especially with all the makeup and stuff that I have, I'm still working on getting through new stuff. I've been posting a whole lot more. So if you like that, let me know. But I guess that's it. So we shall see y'all later. Bye.